Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory unto the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakak, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect. This is your brother Ahmad Bayan coming to you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakak, Wadash. You're seeing this article here on your screen. We're going into it says farewell the dollar you will no longer be able to pay with it, and it will no longer be valid in these 11 countries. All right, by this person called Laura M. Right, the 10th of the 4th month, 10th, 2025. Right, so you're saying that the dollar that all you so trust in and believe in, from Babylon the Great, aka America, is not good anymore. All right, it's already dead. It's just basically to bury it now. And they're just showing you that this place called Babylon the Great, aka America, is no longer delicate and sweet, as the scriptures talk about. All right, it basically no longer tender and delicate. All right, this is Isaiah 47 and verse 1. It says, "Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon." All right, which is who today we know as America. All right, spiritual Egypt. All right, it says, "Sit on the ground, there is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans." Right, which going into who these Edomites, Esau Edom. "For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate." All right, and that particular country has, they have nothing again to show that they are tender and delicate. They are greater than any other nation. They're actually showing that they are weak. All right, this is what's going on with these nations, with this Babylon, aka America. This is what's going on with them. They are very weak. All right, they believe that they are still strong, but they basically old, tired, and they old and tired. Babylon, that is how Babylon the Great is right now, old and tired. They're like a old rotten up car. Just need to be packed up in a shed and covered down. That is how Babylon is right now. That's how people see in Babylon right now. It have nothing there. It have nothing good there. All right, the place is completely full of filth, full of nonsense, full of shit. The money ain't nothing anymore. All right, and although you're seeing that the money ain't nothing anymore, this is what these elites want. They want to be able to push the digital currency, right? So I just wanted to bring out that part there. Let's go back here to the article. Excuse me. All right, it says, what's happening with the dollar? As you probably know, the dollar is the US currency, and until now it has ruled the world economy. All right, a lot of people trusting and believing in that particular currency. Once they have that great dollar in their hand, they think that they reach where they had to reach, or whatever the case may be. That's the amount of faith and trust people is put in that dollar. right? It says being the most influential currency on the planet since World War II, when it began to consolidate. Yeah, so like if I get the name wrong, as the main intentional reserve currency. Basically, all countries use it to support their economies. Also, we must take into account that 80% of global trade and conduct is conducted in dollars, such as the purchase of oil and other raw materials. Now 11 countries have decided to set the dollar aside and stop using it in their terrorists. No, Salakia. Yes, Salakia. Terrorists to strengthen their own local currencies instead of giving more power to the dollar. It says here, is this a definitive goodbye? A definite Salakia, is this a definitive goodbye to the dollar? It says we're not talking about the immediate goodbye, but it is a statement of interest. The dominance of the dollar will not disappear overnight. Now these already here in the article, these devils, just interject, these devils, they have the power in their hand, so they could do anything they want, so as the scripture also say, only he who let it will let. All right, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, he's the one that letting these things happen. All right, and only he will let it happen. All right, because at the end of the day, Esau is on the left hand side. He's that sword on the left hand side to bring these different problems, calamities on the earth. All right, just to show you that Salakia, just to show you that these devils, have the power. This is Micah 2:1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. All right, it is in the power of their hand. They are the ones who right now have that power to say, well, we could lock off the dollar, by tomorrow, by the day after tomorrow, by next month, and hey, we seeing all kind of things taking place. We're seeing different rituals taking place that these devils doing, all kind of different things they're trying out there, and they basically lining up the mark right now, that MOTB, which is that RFID total chip, right? So where I reach? Right, it says the dominance of the dollar will not disappear overnight. It would take a lot for that to happen. However, experts like Joyce Hang, chair of global research at JP Morgan, explained that it could take decades before we see these changes fully, but signs of weakness weakening already begin to show, right? Now they checking it that particular way, but we as the men of the Lord, how we checking it, how the Lord told us to check it, is by 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and verse 1. It says, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself. Alright? How the Lord tell us to measure the time. Right? By the prophecies. Using the Bible, by the prophecies, we paying attention to what taking place around the world, right? We are watchmen, alright? We are watchmen. So therefore we standing on our watch and we paying attention to the news, we paying attention to the things that happening around the world, we paying attention to the things that happening in your country and whatnot. We are basically watchmen. Alright? And then what we do, we go out there and preach this gospel, line up the scriptures, warn our people for what is there to come. Alright? And let you all know that the only way you could be saved out of this evil that is coming up on the earth very soon, which had already started, but is not on an all-time high right now. The only way you will get saved is by turning back to your true power. Alright, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. And the only one who is going to accept the Lord and his only begotten Son, Yahushai HaMashiach, is the elect of Israel. Alright? The elect of Israel. Alright? The 1/3 of Israel, most importantly, the 144,000 men. Right? So the Lord say in 2nd Ezra chapter 9 and 1, it says, He answered me then and said, Measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. And this is what the Lord doing right now. He visiting the world which he made, bringing destruction, calamities, and uproars of people, by using who? Esau, Edom, to bring chaos, right? So we see in the dollar declining, we're going to see inflations and all these things taking place where, this is just the beginning of sorrows. This is just the evils that is said that was coming, all right? And as I say, for you to be away from these things that come in on the earth, you have to turn back to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Alright? If not, well, then you're just going to be those individuals out there that is going to be in the commerce. Right? And you don't want to be there. Alright? It says here, yeah, finish up already. Alright, it says here the countries that will stop using dollars. The information probably won't surprise you at all, but it will be the former Soviet republics, those countries that were part of the old USSR, that will stop using the dollar in their international transactions, right? And these are the lists of them here. All right. So we see in them, Ukraine, Russia, Moldova, and all these others. All right. And these are countries that already looking to look 144 on the screen. These countries looking to stop that particular currency. Because it means nothing, and it's all this tariffs and all this bullshit that Trump is doing. DJ Trump, also known as nearer to thee, through the Spirit. We understand that he's nearer to thee, because he's coming down with a lot of draconian laws and a lot of wickedness he coming on with, so he just making these other countries do what? Hate the whole. Alright? The scriptures talk about now the nations are mad. Alright, so these nations are fed up of this place called Babylon the Great, aka America, and they're looking to destroy them very soon. Alright? So America is not strong anymore. They don't have anything there to show their strength. Alright? They are weak. No matter if they show their military and whatnot, they are weak. To compare to the amount of different countries is going to come against them very, very soon. In World War III. Alright? So they are accustomed fighting one-on-one battle. That is what these devils are accustomed doing. They're accustomed fighting one-on-one battles. But when it comes to every single nation around the world coming together to go against them, they outnumbered. And it have no way they could overcome that. The Lord is the one that mustered up the battle. The Lord is the one that is going to destroy this place called Babylon the Great, this Western society, that made all the earth drunkard from the wine. Alright? From that whore. Alright, it says here, with this change, these 11 countries aim to create a stronger and more resilient, realistic economy. What's in Salakia? They correct the first time. Resilient economic block through local transition in their own currencies. Alright? It says here, why now? Let's see. It says these countries have decided to follow Russia's example. Alright, Russia bring out that brick, that brick currency. Now all we know is literal dollar, and it backed by literal gold. Alright. They also have a digital currency. So when we read down in this, you're gonna see more. It says these countries have decided to follow Russia's example, and despite existing tensions between Russia and Ukraine, these countries support reducing their dependence on the dollar. Additionally, there are now stable and secure alternatives such as digital currency. You see that? So the links card, the credit cards, these new things that you have in your wallet, in your pocket, in your purse, now you don't have to swipe and really type in your number anymore. They have a chip on it where it is just at the top, and that is just a gesture that they trying to get everyone accustomed to. So when it is the authorized to give everyone that MOTB, alright, the mark of the beast, which is that RFID total chip in your hand or in your forehead, you could be able to use that to buy your stuff. If you need to buy anything or if you need to sell anything, you're using that. You're also using that as an ID, to log in to here or there, to get into your electric cars, to get into your homes, your smart home, your so-called smart homes, because these homes ain't, they like so well, like they ain't dumb anymore. These homes are smart. Alright, they're smarter than you. So watch yourself when you're going to them place. Them place could lock you up, and you ain't gonna be able to get out. Just like what them Tesla cars do. Lock the owner in it and, a blaze of fire. How it is go. But yeah, this here they're showing you, hey, is a lot of things that is coming, you know, and you know, we as the men of the Lord, we keep in watch. You know, we getting closer to that time, to the dollar looking to be completely destroyed. All right, and a lot of these people today, they so believing and trusting in that money, you know, that when that money gone, what you're going to do when that time come, who you're going to turn to, you know. And as you saw there in the article, they go into a digital currency. So these things, hey, these things is biblical, these things is true, you know, and it's coming, you know, straight into Revelation. All right, Revelation 13, you know, he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive that mark in the right hand or in the forehead, that no man might buy or sell save he that have the mark. Right? So you won't be able to buy or sell without those digital currency, you know, coming in the form of a rice grain in your hand or a chip that implanted in your brain, right, by Elon Musk. So these of us already have the things planned out. All right, and you people are basically in that trick bag, you know, you all are going to be destroyed. It's simple as that, right? So let's go to the book of Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 19. Matter of fact, let's read up a little bit. Let's read from verse 17. It says here, Ezekiel 7 and 17, it says, all hands shall be feeble, and all knees shall be weak as water. They shall also gird themselves with sackcloth, and horror shall cover them, and shame shall be upon all faces, and baldness upon all their heads. You know, and is a lot of evil times, a lot of bad times, a lot of times that is coming right now is a time that no one ever seen in their life, ever experienced. You know, Jacob's trouble. All right. When you go to the book of Ecclesiastes, no, it's like Jeremiah, chapter 30 and 7. You know, goes into the book of the time like no other. All right, Jacob's trouble, and this is what coming. All right, verse 19. It says, they shall cast their silver in the streets, and their gold shall be removed, and their silver and their gold shall not be able to deliver them in the day of the wrath of the Lord Yahweh. They shall not satisfy their soul, neither fill their bowels, because it is the stumbling block of their iniquity. All right, so these people are going to what? They're going to cast their silver, their money, you know, their currency, you know, the dollar. It ain't going to be no good anymore. All right, it's not going to be anything to you. Hey, nothing to you. All right, and this is what's going on with these people today. They bring in that new world order, that NWO. All right, prophecy is being revealed. All right, chaos is coming. Alright? Destruction is coming. More calamities is coming. When are you going to learn? It says here, right? So it says here, because it is a stumbling block of their iniquity. Alright? So because of the wickedness all they have been doing for their lives, since all they've been born, and all they refuse to turn back to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, or they wait until it's too late. But when it's too late, all they will understand that it has been a prophet among you. And then you're going to be running to and fro seeking those prophets who was preaching this gospel, this good word. Alright, this truth which will set you free. But you all refuse to turn back to this truth. So you're not going to get set free. You're going to be destroyed. Alright? That's why the scriptures say you will be trodden down like the mire in the streets. Alright? You Israelites out there, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians today. Alright? Now I wanna just I wanna show something here real quick. Alright, let's bear with my Baba Kusha. Where is it? Just give me some time. Supposed to have it here. Wait, listen. Alright, what I was looking for then, you see it, but I found this in my gallery there. And this had came out sometime earlier, early last year, I believe, somewhere in 2024 it came out, as it says here, W to the E to the F says CBDCs must be implanted under your skin if you want to participate in in society, right? And this is what the whole thing of these devils, this is what they want. Alright, this is what they want. They don't care. Alright, this is what they're pushing. Alright, and that's why you're seeing the digital currency coming on board. Alright, people are looking to go that direction. A lot of countries. So basically these 11 countries here is going to basically start going to that, and it only when it is they put it mandatory for every single person to take it. That is where you draw the line, and say, hell fucking no, you're not taking that shit. Alright? You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians, you had a whole faith, those are you who in this truth, keep that faith. Alright? I ain't saying go and take it, because if you take it, you're going to be swimming in that lake of fire. Alright? And that could also give you boils and whatnot on your skin. It could also delete you. Alright? It have nothing about taking it and trying to pull it back out. Alright? As soon as that go into under your skin, you basically commit that sin where it is the Lord is going to judge you. Alright? And you're going to be swimming in that lake of fire. Alright? So yeah, I guess I will end it there. We see the dollar closing off. We seeing, these people will soon be casting the money in the streets and whatnot, because it's basically like nothing again. It worth nothing. Alright? And these people are just going to
You know, when I say these people, these elites, they are just going to put a verbal word on these digital currency, on this MOTB, and tell you that is the way to go. All right? And that is the time that you draw the line and tell them no. All right? And stand firm for Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right? So with that, I hope this lesson here was edifying to the nation of Israel. I'd like to give all praises and glory unto the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutation to the faithful elect. This is your brother Ahmad Bayan signing out, and I will say Shalom and Abad Babal. I have a video there to play for you.
11 countries Just today, 11 countries officially announced they will stop using the U.S. dollar for trade. And this could be just the beginning. Trump's relentless tariffs, sanctions, and reckless spending have weakened the dollar's strength. He may have once believed his policies would make America stronger, but now those very policies are pushing America out of the global financial spotlight. If the dollar loses its status as the global reserve currency, inflation will soar, prices will rise, and the purchasing power of ordinary Americans will decline. Your savings could lose value and your cost of living may skyrocket. Worse yet, the world is moving on without us. Countries once controlled by the dollar are now embracing their own currencies and stepping into the global trade arena with confidence. This shift isn't just about currency, it's about losing influence, losing power, and potentially losing our place in the world. How do you feel about the dollar's decline? Is it Trump's fault, or is this just the inevitable result of America's financial dominance fading away? Just today, 11...
All right, okay. Aki Amanakwa Saudi, Shalom.